Hello, my name is Ines Kukil, and today I will be presenting my research on the identification of turtle shell fragments found at McFaddin Beach, Texas. An introduction to the site, McFaddin Beach. This is where all of the specimens that I will be covering today were found. McFaddin Beach itself is a secondary deposit site for a lot of archaeological and paleological specimens. So as we can see, in Figure 1, McFaddin Beach itself is located in eastern Texas along the eastern coast, where the beach itself runs for about 20 miles. The majority of the specimens found on McFaddin Beach are found to be part of the Rancho-Liberian age, which is a part of the early Pleistocene era. And from this, we can assume that the majority, or if not all of the specimens being presented today, should also be from that same era or age. The majority of the fragments were also held at Sam Houston State University and were identified to be some form of testidian shell fragments. So the point of this research was to try to identify all of the shell fragments to their lowest taxonomic level. So from the methods, we can see that I recovered a little over 100 specimens, and from those specimens, I was able to identify them into two main groups: indistinguishable versus distinguishable markings on the shells. So as we can see in Figure 2, E is an indistinguishable shell specimen. So that means that there were solid features with no distinguishable markings. And this is most likely due to the abrasions found on McFaddin Beach, which include water, rocks, or maybe some sand as well. And this was also a very large majority of the samples as well. So a large majority of the 100 samples were found to be indistinguishable sample pieces. The second main group were distinguishable features, and this is where we can see in Figure 2 again, Figure 2A through D and F were distinguishable features, and they were further separated into more specific features. So in 2A and B, we can see that they were both striped specimens. C and D were both ornamentation, and then F was spotting. If we take a look at Table 1, we can see the specific differences between the stripes and ornamentations. So the stripes in A were more fine line surfaces, whereas B were more rigid line surfaces. In C and D were both ornamentation as well, but they were more dappled or dimpled in C, whereas D was a more scaly appearance with circular markings. And then lastly, F, which did not have any subgroupings, was just spotting along the surface of the shell. From these, we were able to cross-reference them from comparative articles and literature. And from this, we were able to find out that the taxonomic levels of each sample were found to be different, but similar. So in A and B, the striped markings, we found that they were part of the genus Pseudomys, which is a large freshwater turtle. The ornamentation taxons were found to be part of the family Amididae, which is also a large freshwater turtle. And lastly, the spotting markings were found to be part of the family Trianocidae, which is also a freshwater turtle. And so from all of these three taxa, we were found to be freshwater turtles, which also happen to be part of the Pleistocene era, which coincides from the introduction where we said that we should expect all of these specimens to be part of the Rancho-Liberian or Pleistocene era. From this, this helps us reconstruct the environment and the ecology of McFaddin Beach during these timelines, and this was what would give us a much larger understanding and broader picture of the environment of McFaddin Beach. I would like to thank Brian Babin and Joe Liggio, who donated the materials, and Sam Houston State University, who also donated any lab equipment. Thank you.